when you're blogging, you're not just writing for your teacher. That's, if you have an open blog online, you're writing for an audience. So it's almost, you're almost trying to captivate an audience to read and enjoy something that is also extremely educational in your own opinion as well. So I think that blogging definitely has an upper hand on that.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity, especially for undergraduate students, to get the experience of building their scientific voice and to take part actively in the community, where you're receiving feedback for the materials that you're putting out there, and you're able to grow and able to be part of the community conversations that are happening right now.
So I think that open access and allowing people to share information and textbooks like Robin's done, I think that's really important, and it's really valuable to students. So
I think getting feedback from more than just your professors really helps you grow, not only as a student but as a person. You can get different points of view, and I think that really helps people grow and learn.
We had a choice between using a blog or doing something else. I chose it personally because I love to write, and being having the personality that I could have. I mean, you could really take the shape of whatever you wanted to when you wrote, which I thought was huge. And so I could connect what I wanted to talk about in every one of my writings.
So because it was online, there was a lot of opportunity for us to be able to actually comment on the textbook. So we used a program called Hypothesis, which allowed us to make an account and be able to highlight pieces of the text and write our own comments or our own thoughts about that text, which is what you do in a normal English class. You just do it on your own in the book or on your notes or in your head, and then you bring it to class and you talk about it there. But with Hypothesis, you could do it online, and you can see other people's thoughts and you could comment on their thoughts. And I loved waking up in the morning after reading my text and seeing all those emails from people who had written comments to the things that I said on Hypothesis, asking me questions or responding to a question that I had. And it was very interactive.
And it was really interesting to use something like that because the way I think about it is kind of like Facebook for class, which everyone uses Facebook, and it makes it a lot more interesting. Because my classmates and I would go back and forth, commenting to each other and making jokes and stuff. That would make it a lot more entertaining for us, and also, make sure maybe you're not sure if you're understanding the reading and someone else says the same thing and you go, oh, I'm not alone, which is always good to know.
The open source textbook that we use for molecules and cells was really helpful. First, you didn't have to pay for another book, which on top of everything else that you need to pay for with school is very nice.
And it's very frustrating to have a semester where you have to spend $200, $400 on textbooks. I've had a book cost $200 just on its own, and to have to struggle with that as a college student who doesn't have a lot of money and coming up from a family who doesn't have a lot of money, it's really a struggle to have to buy a textbook that's $200, which is more than I spend on groceries.
I mean, for me, buying textbooks, that's the part of the semester that I dread the most, only because I don't look forward to spending lots of money on books, especially when I've already spent a lot of money to come to class. But and I think there's a lot of people out there that they do struggle to afford textbooks.
I do know a couple of my good friends are like athletic training majors, and 3 books this semester cost them over $500.
The way I like to look at it is we got this textbook that was like kind of a rough outline of a textbook with maybe some spelling needed changes, and we needed to add in the actual things that would make it a textbook. It was kind of a skeleton of a textbook, and we added the meat to it. So that was really fun.
I like working with the ePortfolio because you can see your personal growth and see how you develop over your years in college. And I wish it's something that I started when I was a freshman so that I could, look back at some of the works that I did and see how, I've progressed as a student and just how I've been more inspired this year.
I think the most exciting thing about my ePortfolio is that it's my own. It's something that I created. It's something that I'm able to customize, without there being limitations to my own creativity.
You can bring this portfolio with you throughout your lifetime, bring it to possible employers, other future employers as you go throughout your career and your field.
And I think in terms of that, it really helped me out increase my word length and stuff. So I think when I first started, my blogs were around 350, 400 words. Towards the end, I think my 9th and 10th blogs were around 1,000 words, and I really didn't mean to do that at all. So I apologize to my professor about having to read it all, but it really helped me. So I really liked it.
It's a great opportunity for students to have their voice heard and share their experiences and just get more involved with what they're learning about.
As someone who likes to write, it was fun to do. It was more fun than having a strict guideline paper that I needed to talk about this and this and this.
I'm thinking I'll probably still post things that are relevant to what I'm learning about, just because that's a good way for me to comprehend things, and I think it might be helpful and interesting to other people, so I definitely still plan on writing.
It personally lets you get in contact with your peers, professors, and it also puts you out there in the digital world where other people can contact you.
And I ended up writing a blog post on my blog that I was using for class also, and it ended up getting a lot of recognition thanks to my professor who shared it, and people who work for the company that make the tool, different professors, different academic people on Twitter. They were sharing it and really liking it, and it was very inspiring for me as someone who wants to write in the future. And it just goes to show how important these tools are for open access and for students like me.